guys, welcome back to the next video. If you're new to the channel, welcome. This is Richard from WELSHYTECH, and today we have another case. This one is from InWin, and this is the W31. Okay then guys, well, we're looking at another case. This is the InWin W31. The model number is IWCSW31BLK-4VX120. So, we will get into the overall specs. When it comes to actual motherboard support, supports ATX, micro ATX, as well as mini ATX. And by the looks of it, it does support back connector motherboards. Now, this does come with 3 included ARGB fans. One is a normal 120, and then at the side then is 3 120 reverse ARGB fans. Force fan support. Now, the top fans it supports is 3 120s or 2 140s. The side does support 3 120s or 2 140s, and the rear of the case only supports a 120mm fan. The bottom of the case does support 3 120mm fans as well. Radiator support, well, it does support a 280 or a 360 on the top. The bottom does support a 240 or 360mm AIO or radiator. The side does support a 240 or 280mm AIO or radiator. As for the rear, it only supports a 120. Okay, so for the actual I/O in the front, it does have a USB 3.2 Type-C. It has 2 USB 3.0s. It has audio or microphone, headphone jack, has an LED button, the reset, and a power button with hard drive or indicator LEDs as well. The max CPU cooler height is 160mm. The max GPU length is 410mm. The PCIe covers there are actually 7 there. As for the back panel, now as for internal drives, it supports a 1 3.5, 2.5, 1 3.5 or 1 2.5 inch drive. Now as for the back, as you can see, it's full of cable tie points for cable management. It also does have the power supply, which the actual max length of the power supply is 240mm across, but as you can see, there's plenty of space in the back panel for cable management. As for included accessories, does come with the cable ties as well as the motherboard screws. As for dust filtration, does have a magnetic dust filter on the top by here, which does cover the entire back. And then at the bottom of the case, it also does come with another dust filter there. Okay then, so that's actually the case. There's the specs. Now let's build a system in this, as well as I'm actually going to test the thermals, but I'm also going to make a little mini build in this with a different GPU and an AIO, so you guys can see how this will look fully done out. So make sure you continue to watch. Okay, so when it comes to the actual test system, or the system I use for testing cases, well, it is my Intel Core Ultra 265K. This time it has 32 gigs of DDR done. It is the Trident Z RGB. It does have an ASRock Riptide Z890 motherboard. It has a 2TB Gen 5 from Apacer. It does have an RX 7800 XT. It has a 1000 watt power supply from Be Quiet, and of course I use the Thermalright Royal Pretor 130 for the actual testing. Now, when it comes to the actual testing, I do 50%, 100%, and I do Cinebench R23 and Firmark 2 for the CPU and GPU for 20 minutes for each run. So for the 50%, the Cinebench R23, the idles were the 27 Celsius with a max of 86, and the power draw was 210 watts. Firmark 2 GPU temp was an idle at 23 with a max of 54. The GPU junction temp was an idle of 46 with a max of 75. GPU hotspot was an idle of 29 with a max of 84. And the GPU power draw was 274 watts. Now, for the 100%, this is all the fans, all fans, case fans. The GPU is left at default, so then that doesn't cause any issues there. So for the Cinebench R23, the idles are 32 with a max of 83, so it's already come down. CPU power draw is exactly the same at 210 watts. Firmark 2, the GPU temp was an idle at 33 with a max of 55. GPU junction was an idle of 54 with a max of 74, and GPU hotspot was an idle at 39 Celsius with a max of 85, and the GPU power draw was the same at 274 watts. So what I'm going to do with here is put up a graph. I'm going to show you how this performs against the Deepcool, the one I previously done, and the Thermalright case as well, because they're all dual chamber cases, and you guys will see how good this performs, because this actually does perform a little bit better than the Deepcool case. I think it's because the fans in this are a lot faster, so they are going to push a lot more air through the back panel, and obviously that does help when it comes to CPU coolers, mainly GPUs. As you can see, there's a degree difference for this case, so it doesn't really matter that way, but this is where the graphs are going to show. Okay then, so what did you think of that? Now, when it comes to like the actual build and stuff, now I don't do this for every case, but lately I've been having brands saying, oh, we'll send you out an AIO, and Silverstone did it, who else did it? I can't remember who else did it. Oh, Thermalright did it as well. It's just mainly to show it off what it would look like with an AIO. Now, obviously, this one was sent by InWin. It does look good. I like these fans from InWin. They're fantastic fans. As you can see, there's ample space for GPUs. This is the RX 9070 XT Phantom Edition from Sapphire. This is the biggest card I've got to hand, and quite frankly, it's a little bit longer than my RX 7800 XT. That's why I put this into more of a show. Obviously, the AIO sent by InWin. I did change the RAM over because I got this with the press kit for the Intel 270K and the 250K plus CPU. So I use that because it is a little bit small, a little bit shorter, so clearance CPU coolers is a lot better. Now overall, obviously this is identical to the Deepcool case. I don't care what anyone says. This is, in my opinion, identical. It's got the same layout, the overall back panel, everything, except for obviously the back panel is a little bit different, but that's fine. But the internals and the actual back of it, where they've got the brace and stuff for the PSU, it's identical. It's exactly the same as the Deepcool case. But when it comes to the pricing, this is priced a little bit higher. To be fair, this is the anniversary case for InWin, and I'm not surprised. This is €115, so it's just over £100. But considering that, it's not bad. Now, whether you guys are looking for this type of case, that's up to you. But let's get into the back panel now and see how good the cable management is, because obviously there's a lot more cables now due to the AIO. Okay then, so this is the back panel. Yeah, it's not thumb screws or captive screws, just like the Deepcool case. Obviously the difference between the Deepcool case is that it had just a piece of metal here. The quality of the back panel, this one's actually not too bad. A little bit of flex, but it seems okay. As you can probably see, I didn't do a lot of cable management. This thing is just, with an AIO as well, you've got that 12 volt high power cables here. I'm trying to keep that to make sure it doesn't bend or anything. But as you can see, the cable management space here, there's not a lot, but obviously there is a lot, but you know, it depends on how you'd actually take the time to do it, because it's got a ARGB hub at the bottom, just like the DeepCool case did. So I mean, it's very similar that way. The overall back panel looks identical to that one. Obviously, you can fit very long power supplies, but I'd be careful, especially if you're using this 12-volt high power cable. You don't want to bend that. But as you can see, the cable management on the back is actually okay. The fans, obviously, you've got access there, and then obviously you've got the access to the I/O here as well. So actually not too bad. And you can fit a lot of SSDs. Like, you can fit 2 here SSDs, or you can fit one 3.5-inch drive, so that's not so bad, is it? Okay then, so what's the conclusion? Now obviously, as you probably did watch through the DeepCool case, I do like this case. The case is really nice. I like the curved glass. I've always liked curved glass. Obviously, I'm going to say the exact same thing I did with the DeepCool case as well, because that curved glass but there isn't cheap by any means. To get it manufactured that way, it's out of one piece of glass. It's not 2 separate glasses like normally you'd see where it's cut off in the middle, but here it's just one piece of glass. So that's not very cheap to do. It's quite expensive from personal talk-ins with like Haven and stuff at TechMax. So they did say that curvature is very expensive to manufacture. But this definitely holds big GPUs. This could definitely fit the 5090. It holds AIOs, obviously not the biggest CPU coolers, but still, you can SSDs by here if you wanted to. There is actual mounting points here, or you could put a radiator or more fans down here, because it could definitely help that way. So yeah, now look, obviously it's going to really depend on what you guys think, really. If you think it's worth £100, which, quite honestly, it's my second fish tank type case, or third, and it's not bad actually. It's quite nice. I do like it. The fans are quite loud, but still, the RGB illumination looks absolutely fantastic, so that's a win for me. So yeah, look, if you like this video, make sure you subscribe, because I got absolute tons of stuff coming as well. DeepCool, I've got not DeepCool, Be Quiet, I've got stuff from Intel, I've got other stuff on the way, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. And as always, I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend and week ahead of you. This is Rich for WELSHYTECH. Goodbye.